West of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on town between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Denver Broncos. And off we go from Denver. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. Teams met up earlier in the year back in week 4, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Now Darnold going to take it and just bat this one forward to his wide out. And he'll be tackled at about the 35.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. Hands it off out of the gun. The Broncos at 2-7 now on the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. And I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
And the slot man goes in motion left. Darnold on first down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Not the desired outcome, but probably won't be the last time we see him take a shot downfield.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Here's Darnold. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw, Darnold. And the throw there going to be incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Jacobs to start the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense for the Broncos, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. On 3rd down, Mayfield. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Las Vegas sending out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. He'll look to set up his blockers. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. And looky there, Charles, just acquired, already making an impact on the defensive side of the football.
Maybe not a superstar, but he does a few things well, and I think they'll emphasize that in his new role with this team.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now it's Darnold. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Darnold on 3rd down. And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. On 4th down, Darnold. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he is going to have a
the Broncos first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Both sides were holding their breath there on that fourth down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win, just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
And here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he's going to be close to a first down as he gets this to the Raiders' 41. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-0.
So after drive number 3 here, we have a score, and it's 3 points after the field goal.
I would say the feeling out process for both these teams, I'd say it's over, partner. Everyone understands what's going on now. You've kind of probed a little bit. Now you want to start throwing the big shots. First 3 points up on the board could be significant.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They currently sit 1 game over 500 thanks to their victory a week ago. Now, Charles, they've been really an up-and-down team all year. Do you think that they have enough to get into the playoffs?
Well, you did mention they've been up and down all year, so to me, it depends on what week you catch them. When they're at their best, I think they're definitely playoff worthy. But to me, they haven't been able to bring the intensity week in and week out, and that could be their Achilles heel.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
23 yards on the play.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Mayfield's throw brought in by Austin. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Here's Jacobs, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Now Mayfield. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. And now look at him go. And the Broncos are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. After the interception, here's Darnold. Rush coming, and he's taken down. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12. To throw is Darnold. Got a man, it's Judy, complete. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Darnold. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
But one thing we certainly know, he likes to take those risks deep downfield during games, coverage or not. The coverage was there on that one. No catch, but he's also fortunate. No turnover either.
Off of play action, Darnold. They'll roll him out right. And this one is incomplete.
Nice job escaping the pocket. And, boy, he took the shot downfield towards the end zone, didn't he? Trying to go for 6. It just wasn't there against that coverage. They were ready to prevent the big play.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And that is incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
The kick by McManus is good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the Plague did on the last one.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down.
Well, I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield, and he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
First down, Mayfield.
Completes Austin here over the middle. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Mayfield looks to throw.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Throwing, Mayfield. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch.
He'll get it inside the 20.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 16. That one goes for 24 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call.
And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are an extra point away from capturing the lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They're kind of searching for that magic elixir. You know, they're moving the football a little bit, but not with any great consistency.
I love that term you just used, elixir, right?
Old school.
Old school. I love that, because you don't want to put too much pressure on your defense as well.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point, because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, right? Because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time. And you've got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw him.
And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Hey, alert 33.
Counter play with Jacobs. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
40 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again, because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
4th down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. This will be a 37-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the 2nd half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s. Back-to-back, what a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
They'll stay on the ground with Williams.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Darnold. He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okwuegbunam. And he will finally be escorted out of bounds down inside the 45. A big play there just before halftime. And even 40 yards.
I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Darnold. That's complete. It's Okwuegbunam. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his...
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
Following the interception, Mayfield. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. He is proving his worth defensively, getting the sack here. That comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Out of his end zone, Mayfield. And he'll throw this one away. I don't think he's out of the pocket, no. Here comes the flag.
Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And just 18 seconds remain till halftime as they come up on 1st and 10. The slot man in motion right. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And Darnold got to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Wow, a big mistake there. Late interception in this first half, and that could lead to a field goal try the other way.
Yeah, I think at this point you just had to say, let's take a knee and going into half and regroup. Let's just talk it over a little bit. I wonder, partner, was the analytics coach in his head a little bit? Maybe go ahead and press it and try and get some points? While the old school coach probably would have said, take the knee, let's get out of here.
Now we could see points the other way here.
So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the...
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
Darnold on first down. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. And the Raiders are going to get the football here at their own 23. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. The last drive for this offense, Charles, you remember it ended in one play, that quick interception, but they do still have the lead as they start this drive here.
And that's something that...
And Mayfield again with the interception, his third. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are, positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation...
And this is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Tim Patrick, his 4th touchdown of the year. And the Broncos have retaken a third-quarter lead. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found it downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you find...
And this is going to be intercepted.
Well, as most teams do in their 2-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you get a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there. That's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine. I
guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's the option play now to the left. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Give him 4 yards as he does it himself, and it's a first down. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. It's caught inside the 25.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Pretty good timing. He waited just enough for that post play to develop and laid it right in there.
And you know what a lot of teams do when they decide to throw a post route? Because it's a little bit longer developing play. They max protect. Bring everyone in, keep the tight end in, an extra back to make sure the quarterback has time to deliver the football.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And that will bring up second down. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 50 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Raiders have answered back with a third-quarter touchdown of their own to retake the lead. Now the Raider offense will stay out there as they'll line up to go for 2. They'll try to run it with Jacobs. And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and they'll come up empty on the try for 2. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. They'll give to Williams, running right. And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
2nd down, Jacobs once more.
And he'll be down close to the first down marker as he gets this to the Broncos' 20-yard line. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. Mayfield to throw it. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
On that snap, he's a hero of his defense after the play he just made. A one-possession game, and his hit kept it exactly that.
Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Broncos will take over on downs. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
He completes this to Sutton. Now the ball comes loose, and the Raiders pick it up. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 75 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
They go play action. Mayfield. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. They will run the draw with Jacobs. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10, and he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game. And now here in this situation, a field goal would still have them only up by 1 score, so I would think about going for it. Even if you don't get in, you put your defense in a really nice spot, making the offense go the long way to try and score.
They go with Jacobs. And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. They gave it to him in search of his 3rd touchdown, but he's denied. And the Bronco defense comes up big. So that's a decision that could loom pretty large here. They go for it on 4th down, but come up empty.
But I actually like the call, and the reason? It shows me a head coach has faith in his team overall. First, on the offensive side, thinking they can pick it up, but also knowing that he has faith in his defense that if they don't, they'll go out there and stop them. I like the confidence he showed.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And can they take advantage? Their defense got the fourth down stop, and now they're hoping to find the end zone. A field goal wouldn't be enough to erase this fourth quarter deficit.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defense coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
From the end zone, here's Darnold. Over the middle, complete. It's back. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and just a yard.
And as a quarterback, you're always pleased when you can use all the weapons at your disposal. Here he spots his fullback underneath, gets the completion right there for a nice pickup.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Williams. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed, too.
On 1st down, it's Darnold.
On the slant, completes to Sutton.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now Darnold going to take it and just back this one forward to his wideout.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive linemen, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Denver has the first down, the play going for 15 yards.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Now Darnold going to take it and just bat this one forward to his wideout.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. On 2nd and a couple, Darnold.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
So they need 2 yards here on third down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive. Now it's Darnold. Finding his big receiver, Patrick, over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's Darnold. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Darnold. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. And the Raiders have just about sewn up this football game. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that, because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as he'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. Here's the Raiders punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. This is brought in at the 21. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And out will come the offense as they take over. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
Darnold to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. A really nice knockdown. He gets so much pressure in these situations on defensive backs. What are they taught?
Play the ball, not the man, because if you have a pass interference penalty in this spot, boy, oh boy, you put your team in a bad place.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
4th down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he'll be taken down.